Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danny Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello everyone, I am assuming we're live. I'm trying to make sure it's working and my phone has just decided to not work. So please let me in the comments, let me know everything is going fine. I know it's saying it's live and I can see that it's definitely live on YouTube. So let me know in the comments that you're there and what you're up to as well, because it is towards the end of the week, what shows you've got coming up and what you're up to. Jody has popped in, so I can see somebody in there. Thank you for joining. We've got Darren waiting in the room, so we're going to welcome him in. Hello.
How are you, Danny?
I'm good. I can see that we're live because there's people popping in, but I can't log in. My phone's just decided to stop working. So, good time.
Well, even if I could log in, I probably couldn't because I'm such a techno, like shocking technical stuff.
I don't like technology, and look what I do. This is all technology. Random, I know. I like to make my life hard.
I know a couple of years ago when I was doing the Facebook Live shows that I was doing, and it took me about 3 shows to work out my little modem wasn't working anymore, and I was going straight in through the microphone instead of a mixer, and I had no idea.
It's the fact that you tried. That's what's important right now.
Right, yeah. I've been doing listening to a podcast, a success podcast, and it says if you're not failing at things, you're not trying. So there you go.
That's a good point. Very good point. How have you been? Because it's been a little while since we saw you. Have you had a good few months? Have you been back at work? Everything a bit normal over there?
I wouldn't say anything's normal about this time in schools because I work my day job. I'm a what you used to call a teacher's aide, and there's nothing normal about schools at the moment. They're fairly unsettled due to, I guess, a lot of upheaval with COVID and other things. Yeah.
Have you got that fairly bad around Albury?
It hasn't been good lately. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and I know last term at our school, a lot of people missing school due to COVID. So it's been quite up and down, and the kids are pretty unsettled with all of that. But anyway, life's great. We're back doing live shows, and the soccer club that I coach hasn't missed a game this season. It's we haven't missed anything due to COVID. So
really, that's
great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, life's great.
Yeah, life's getting there. We've got so many people popping in. Jody has popped in. Where did the comments go? Jody's popped in, and Smiley has popped in.
Oh, there's my bro.
And John has also popped in. We've got lots of things. Paula, she's asking how you are.
I'm wonderful, thanks. Or she's maybe asking you.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, there's Rick.
I'm always good. Rick's in the room. Wendy, she's getting it loud and clear, so that's good. And Kayleen is also in the room.
Hi, Kayleen.
I haven't seen you for a while, Kayleen. I hope you're well. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Let us know where you're watching from and what you're doing for the weekend. You're heading out to see some live music, I hope that people get to do that this weekend. I don't think there's much live music here this weekend on my end. But
hopefully the folks in the Albury area will come and see me at the Laguna Golf Club tomorrow night from 8 o'clock. Just a quick plug.
Lovely. Good. Can they still, is it a ticketed gig or do they get
No, I mean, it's pretty much a covers gig, this one. But it's just great to be out playing anything, whether it's my own or other people's music. It's great fun, isn't it?
Exactly right. And you know what? I hope you can still sneak a couple of the originals in those sets.
Yeah, well, my awesome producer, Damien Caffarella, has been saying, Daz, why don't you do it? Because for a long time I worked under a different name when I was doing covers. And he said, Daz, just do it. Just chuck them in. People love it. So it's starting to happen.
Good. I'm glad because it should at least do it 1 or 2. People need to hear the good stuff. So Old Town. Tell us about this song and where it came from, and when did you? Is it recently written or?
Yeah, I wrote it about a year ago.
Yeah.
But it's a historical song for me. I'm not going to tell you what year, but I grew up. I don't tell too many people this. So just between you and my first 15, 16 years of life was spent in Melbourne, and then my mum and dad pulled up stakes and took us to the country where we moved to a riverina town, and hence my last song, Hello Riverina. But we bought a hotel in that town, and my room was right above the jukebox in the bar downstairs, and that thing, I swear, it was the most popular jukebox in the Southern Hemisphere. It never shut up, that thing, and I had all this music flowing through my bedroom floor till all hours, all the time. Didn't get much sleep, but gee, it was a great grounding in music, and but also the age that I was, it was a real breakout year for me, where you experience your first love, and first this and that, first quiet alcohol, and first experience of death amongst my peers. A lot of things happened all at that time, so it was just one of those years that I'll never forget. And of course there was a girl.
Yep, of course there was. There's always a girl.
There's a girl. Always a girl.
Now I have got one of those original jukeboxes in my garage, and I tell you what, they put out an awesome sound. They really do.
Don't they? And
was yours a record player?
Yes, it was. Yeah, all the singles. Yeah. And the variety on it. Like we'd be getting 1 minute, we'd be getting the Webb brothers who started the Gimpy Muster. They had a song out back then called "Who Put the Roo in the Stew," which was about a meat substitute scandal that had gone on and been uncovered. There was John Denver had "Some Days Are Diamonds, Some Days Are Stone," but then on the other end of the spectrum, there was a song frequently coming through the floorboards that was probably a little bit risque for a young teenager my age to be listening to, but it was called "I Want to Kiss You All Over" by Exile, and it was just a great thing.
Lots of memories, lots of good memories, lots of sometimes even the hard memories are good memories, aren't they? Still.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yes. Lots of people have popped in. Paula is watching from Horsham.
Hey, Paula.
Yeah. Rick, he said, is in. How do you say Oberon or Oberon?
Oberon. Yeah, I just had a chat with Rick the other day.
I don't think I've been there, Rick. I need to come and visit. Kayleen said that Damien Caffarel is a genius, and I agree.
That's understating.
And Rick has said that it's an awesome song, which it is. Absolutely.
Thanks, Rick.
Because it is a bit different to other songs, and you've gone out and you've really changed the sound, and you sound like you're having a lot of fun when you were recording it, actually.
Absolutely. And it also, it goes back to my first groundings in country music in terms of when I became an original artist. I was doing shows with all the bush poets. And so that spoken word thing, which is featured in this song, really became part of what I love. I was working with people like Murray Hart and Marco Gliori and Ray Essery and some of the most wonderful poets in Australia. And so it was hard to not, that just got into me, didn't it? As you can tell by the song.
Well, actually, I'm glad that you said that, because I was going to ask what was the inspiration behind the speaking parts, because I love that in a song. But I'm quite a bush ballad fan. That is sort of definitely my favorite area in the industry. But so it's interesting that you brought that up, and it's not something you hear a lot of people doing now. No,
well, I have a song on my self-titled album called William that was essentially a spoken word song just with a chorus, and people seem to like it, so I thought, well, why not do it again? And I pretty much think I started writing this as a poem, and then thought, no, this works as a song. All it needs is a chorus and something, a bit to sing and
a bit of music behind it.
Yeah.
So do you do a lot of poetry as well?
I write a little bit. I can't say I've ever performed it. I haven't got the memory for it. Like with a song, we write 4 verses and a repeating chorus, whereas these poets, they're writing 15, 20 verses to fill up the same amount of time that we do a song, because we space it out with music and Yeah, so I haven't got the memory for it, but
And the other
they
thing I
amaze me.
think with remembering songs, it's not just that it's a lot smaller compared to a poem, but the music reminds you of the words. Like you've got something to remind you as to what's coming in the next little bit. It just helps you remember. Whereas a poem, you sort of don't have anything to indicate whereabouts you are in this storyline
No,
if you lose your place.
absolutely not. Absolutely
Yeah,
not. And I was asked to put a poem to music years ago by Murray Harton, I think it was. Asked me one of his great poems. He said to me, Daz, can you turn it into a song? But it was so long, and that had I have put music to it, it was going to work out to about a 7.5 minute song.
Yep.
So so he got he got someone to put some guitar backing to it, and he just spoke over the music, and it just worked so well. Yeah, it's a poem called Rain from Nowhere. You know, if you ever want a bit of a tearjerker, that's the one.
See,
yeah, absolutely.
There'd only be one poem that I can sit here and recite, and it would be at least 7.5 minutes, and that'd be The Man from Snowy River. And simply because when you listen to Slim's version and it's got put to a song, it helps me remember the words, and you don't need the music now because I've listened to it that many times.
And how long does Slim's version of The Man from Snowy River go?
7.5 minutes.
14.5 minutes.
7.5.
Oh, 7.5.
Yep. So it's that's why. But I tell you what, there's not many poems out there that you'd struggle with. I reckon. That I just remember any of them. Now we have Rick has popped in and he said, "Can we have a song? And can you do Hello Riverina?"
Rick.
Are you up to doing 2 songs so you can do the single?
I could probably have a go at that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I might let you do that now, and we can jump back in and have talk some more when you finish. You want to do both now?
Sure. Would you? Which one? Well, we've just talked about Old Town, so maybe if I start with that one,
and then do the other one after. Yep.
Sure, because I got my capo in the right spot.
You have. I'll come back in when you're finished.
Cool.
See.
The pub above the jukebox is where my bed would be. There started my adventure with the music playing free. This pretty girl beside me, she kind of welcomed me to town. She showed me things I'd never seen, really showed this boy around. Yeah. We sat on that veranda, looking down on Eastern Street. His car's lapped top to bottom, while we sweltered in the heat. We chanced some physical encounters, laughing free without a care. As cars went by below us, not knowing we were there. In that old town, I wonder if she's still around. In that old town, 2 lovers, one summer in that old town. Yeah. So much had quickly happened, like the boy we couldn't save. Coal was burning down at midnight, picnics out at Graham's grave. I led the rodeo up Main Street, went on telly singing songs, had my first a few hangovers. Oh, that day was long. There beside the jukebox was the first time that I sang. With that pretty girl beside me, we turned this boy into a man. In that old town, I wonder if she's still around. In that old town, 2 lovers, one summer in that old town. That old building is still standing, no longer serving beers. The license went to Sydney, big Olympic year. The bar's gone with the jukebox, there's no music, there's no noise. My day is second-hand shop, selling pre-loved clothes and toys. in that old town. I wonder if she's still around. In that old town, two lovers, one summer in that old town. I wonder if she's still around. In that old town, two lovers, one summer in that old town. Two lovers in that old town. One summer in that old town. Two lovers, one summer. Old town. Yeah, and I dropped my pick. And yeah, this one, I think it was Rick, was it? Was it Rick that asked for this one? A song I wrote about the same place, or the same area. But years later, when I came back to it after moving away, there we go. It was Rick Nash. Yep. This. So I'd moved away and I came back years ago, maybe 10 years ago, but decided to write this one about the feeling of coming back to the place that is my spiritual home, the Riverina. So for Rick and anyone that's into this one, the song's called Hello Riverina. Hello Riverina, it's a long time since I've seen you, with your hills of gold canola glowing in the sun, where the Murrumbidgee's flowing through the river, gum trees swaying on a breeze that's come to tell us a new season has begun. Ooh, the song is in my bones. Ooh, hello, Riverina, I've come home. Yeah. The roads lie before me, take me to 1,000 stories, some remembered, some forgotten, some yet to be made. Kick my boots off by the Murray, old man's never in a hurry. Tip a can and pond a life by a willow in the shade. Ooh, the song is in my bones. Ooh, hello Riverina, I've come home. Restless streams, they keep my wheels rolling, but back they'll turn, you know they always do to you. Hello Riverina, it's a long time since I've seen you, with your hills of gold canola glowing in the sun. I can feel you like a brother, a sister and a mother. May my ashes fall upon you when my dreaming days are done. Ooh, the song is in my bones. Ooh, hello Riverina, I've come home. I've come home. Hello Riverina, I've come home. Yeah.
That one's my favourite. Definitely love
thank
that
you.
song. Both of them are gorgeous songs, but there's just something about that one. It feels very,
thank you,
very homely and really nice and relaxing. And yeah.
Well, it's home for me, definitely.
Yeah.
Still here in Albury, still part of the Riverina, and love it.
I know last time we spoke, you were looking at moving. You were moving some further north. Are you still going north?
Yeah, still the plan at this stage. Yeah, get out and get a bit closer to the East Coast and get amongst the tourist community and the songwriting community and see what we can come up with.
And where are you heading to play? I know you were saying you've got one tomorrow night, which if you missed it, is tomorrow night what time?
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. at the Thurgoona Country Golf Club.
Yes.
8 p.m. till 11 p.m. I'm not sure after that. I've got some stuff coming up at Balldale and it slips my mind, Danny.
You've got gigs coming.
Things coming.
Good
Keep on top of my Facebook page and you'll see them.
Yes. And where can we get your original album? Any of your other music?
Well, those two songs are only available for purchase on
iTunes,
on the streaming iTunes. Yep. Until the album comes out in October, November, and that'll be the title track. Well, the album is named after the title track, which was of course it's named after the title track, but after a place in Melbourne, actually, where my nanny used to live, was the highest point of Melbourne, Ruckers Hill, and she was very proud of living in that spot for about 50 years. And so I've got a song about that coming out later in the year, and the album will come out around about the same time.
I cannot wait. And are you planning on heading up to Tamworth in January?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Time to get firmly entrenched in that again. Yep.
Yes. And that's perfect timing to release the album and have it out in time for Tamworth.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not that I could be cynical and do it perfectly for that, but it just happens to be that's when we're going to have it ready. Yeah, it worked out.
It was meant to be. And I don't know how much you're happy to share of the new album. And how many tracks are on it? Do you know how? Is it
there's going to be completely? Well, there's 10 new tracks. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick sip.
Go for it.
There is 10 new tracks, and there will also be. I recorded a song about 3 years ago, which I put out only on iTunes, which was about the aftermath of a pretty tragic accident that happened around our school, or with one of the kids at our school, and I didn't have an album out at the time, so it just came out as a standalone. So that'll be on there as a bonus track. That one's called "I Saw You Smile Today," and there'll be 11 in all.
Lovely, cannot wait. And one more single you're thinking?
Maybe two, but maybe? Two at least. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Two at least.
Cannot wait. What else have you got planned? You've obviously been working pretty hard to get an album ready and that sort of thing. Have you got the artwork for this one? Is that the same sort of artwork for the new album, or is it a bit different?
No, I'm yet to. There's someone I need to discuss about some artwork. Yeah, very very soon. That'll be a little bit different, I'm hoping. As far as other stuff, I mean, I'm still coaching at a soccer club where I've stayed there a bit longer than I wanted to, but I recruited a bunch of young African boys a couple of 3 years ago, and really wanted to see out their ride to becoming, I guess, at home and not needing someone to encourage them to be there. And that's happened this year. So another 4 or 5 weeks of coaching to go, and I can say, boys, it's all yours. You belong, and it's time for me to wander off.
And you'll be able to go back and watch a game later on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about it last time, and it sounds wonderful.
There's some of the most wonderful young fellas that I've had anything to do with.
Isn't that lovely? And I bet you they're very grateful too.
Mostly, mostly. And just when I thought, I'd done enough, 2 new boys came after we spoke. They came and trained with us the day after they arrived in Australia. That's
the day after.
That's the reputation we had for being welcoming, and one of the boys knew them from his time in the camps. They were in the camps for 12 years. And and he was in there 12 years. They were there 14, and so they sought him out. He said, "Come down, boys. I know a great place," and they were here the day after they arrived.
Were they good? Are they good at it? Did they just pick it up naturally? Yeah.
Yeah, despite being in a refugee camp for 14 years, they are actually two of the best players I've ever had the pleasure of coaching. Yeah. Pity they can't understand a word I say yet, but we need to have everything interpreted, but we get there.
How beautiful. And lots of fun. Did they know that you sing as well?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the guys at the club, they're very supportive. Yeah.
Beautiful. You've got a lovely group of people all around you, haven't you? Absolutely beautiful to see. Rick has said thank you and to keep the songs coming. Absolutely.
No, thanks, Rick. And Rick, Rick's a lovely fella that does his own radio show and gives me some really good support. So love you, Rick, and yeah.
He is such a supporter of Australian music. We are so lucky in this country. The amount of support we have for across the board in genres, it's incredible. It's a big family, beautiful big family.
Absolutely. And there's Leonie, former Melrose girl, and Melrose is the club that I coach at, and she's been a great person at our club over the years. Don't see her around too much anymore, but she's Hey, Leonie.
Lovely to see her joining. Thank you for jumping on, everybody. Kayleen said, thank you so much. She's glad to hear your voice again. I would nearly put money on Kayleen's heading to Tamworth in January, I reckon.
I saw Kayleen a couple of months ago at the Bulldale Tavern. It was,
Oh, lovely. Paula said she loves the song and a beautiful voice, and she said to say hi earlier. And,
thank you, Paula.
Rick said that you're very welcome for having you on the show. We've got such a beautiful group. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. But where can we find you again before we go? Where's the best place to find out your shows and your new music?
Of course, Facebook. Just Darren Colston or Darren Colston Music. I've got 2 pages. The music one is probably the one that's going to take over now. But also, and you can all see the way to spell my name at the moment. I see on the screen. A lot of people want to put a U in it. There's no U in Colston. So just Darren Colston Music on Facebook and just like the page. Also, you can get onto my website, www.darrencolston.com, and there's even a link on there to join a mail out. So if you want targeted information, which I've been a bit slack the last month or so, I must admit, but
it is hard to do it all. It is really hard, isn't it?
Like I said, I'm not a technophobe, but I'm not a techno wizard. So yeah.
And keeping up, like when people release the new newsletters and things, if you haven't got a lot to say, people don't tend to send them out too often. So you've got to make sure you've got enough content to get a good one, don't you?
And that's where you follow me on Instagram, and I just put a picture up of something. As everyone does. I try not to do the selfie thing, but
I'm not very good at it either. I'm just very lucky that I've got an amazing team that is good at it around us. So if you can head there tomorrow night, I want photos and videos, please, because I can't get there. So
hopefully I'll have a voice for we spoke. I've been a bit ill this week, and it was touch and go whether I'd get there tomorrow night, but hopefully this voice will last. No, it's not COVID. No. Negative today. Woohoo! So hopefully this voice will last the 3 hours. If not, I'll be asking you guys to help me out.
Help him with the singing and help me with the video so that I can see it. If not, at least post some great photos afterwards. It has been lovely to see you again. I'm hoping we'll get to see you back again for the next single and then the album.
Well, I love having a chat with you, Dan. So, shouldn't be too far away.
Not too far away. Do you do pre-saves and pre-order links when it's a bit closer? Is that something that
we usually put that up a couple of weeks before the single. Yep. I've got one scheduled to come out first week of September.
Great. So keep our eye out for that. Yes. Yep. Make sure you do pre-save or pre-order because it really helps out with charting and things on release day. Plus, you get it straight to your inbox as soon as it's out. So you can't beat that. Thank you so much for joining us. I always love talking to you.
Thanks so much, Danny, for having me.
Anytime. I love this one. This one's good fun. I listen to all the songs all the time, but on the way home tonight, I always try and listen to the song I'm about to talk about, and it's a great driving song.
Cool. That's nice to know.
Push ballads.
I mean,
I love that.
That's where we get our music now, isn't it? In the car.
Yeah, exactly right. That's our main spot.
Yep.
For me, it's just, if I could have it all day, every day, it wouldn't be enough. But that's just, I wish I could play it all day at work. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back next week with a few shows. Watch the page because we're still confirming a few, but we will put them up as soon as they are. And have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe. Thank you so much, Darren.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, listeners,
soon.
viewers.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country